Okay, so real quick, as quickly as I can, I'm going to show you how I like to just overlay images. I mean, it's on Google Earth, and it's just a neat way to put some things on there that may kind of give you some perspective of what you're going to go look at. One of the things I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at a plat and try to kind of get some kind of idea of the layout of an easement, because the client has asked me to go out and give him an estimate on clearing a road to his property, and I was like, well, you have a survey plat that shows the easement? And he said, sure. And I asked him to send it to me, and so he sent it to me, and I kind of clipped it with my clipping tool and or snipping tool, and saved it as a PNG, and to get the area that I want, that I care to fool with. And then so I'm going to export it now into, or import it into the image into Google Earth. So, and do an overlay. And so right click on the folder. You can add it this way, add image. I got dual screens, so I had to bring that back in to show you what I was doing. And I browse for it, and there it is right there, saved in my file. I'm going to do that again another way. You can, instead of right clicking on the folder, Google Earth folder, you can go up and just to the toolbar and go to right beside tools and say add image overlay. And either way you do it, I'm kind of lazy. I either like just rename and copy the names of what I'm doing. I'm actually not renaming. I'm just, because I'm going to name the overlay or the image I'm just bringing in. There it is, easement plat right there. So there we go. Now, obviously it's all kind of cattywampus here. So what I'll do is I could just go ahead and right click on it, the one I want to work with, and properties, and that'll allow me to play with it a little bit. I can change the transparency of it in case it's something I want to try to arrange around or align it with ground imaging, or to see what's on the ground there, like houses or something. This one I just want to do with the pin locations on the in the plat with the polygon KMZ I got already of the property. And see the client's property in the back here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this out of my way. It's a good thing about having dual screens. Let's get this over here. And you have little shapes or little corners you can drag and shape it up. You can shape it width-wise. You can shape it length-wise. Most time I just grab these corners and kind of shape it up a little bit, get it halfway close. Notice another thing with when I clip this thing, I usually try to grab some scale if there is something to scale in there that I care about, halfway care about, and I want to get somewhat close to what the scale is. And that way I can take it and measure and see what we got. So that's how I do that, and I'm not going to waste your time with me sizing this one up. I've already got one I had worked on earlier, and I sized it up, played with it a little bit, and there it is. It's not going to be to scale. This is not survey grades, just something to give me a kind of an idea. And the whole purpose was, again, I got this easement. If you look right along this property edge, the easement comes off the main road up to the left, follows that property line, 50-foot wide easement, turns, makes a 90 degrees just about at that corner pin, then goes a couple hundred feet, and then it turns and goes opposite way, then makes a slight turn and goes into the property. So all I'll do is say, okay, this is all without survey grade equipment, obviously, and just trying to get an idea when I go out there what I'm looking at. As long as I'm in 10, 15 feet, plus or minus. I don't care. Just getting an idea what's going to be out there. And about roughly where I'm at. And there you go. I did a polygon while I was doing that, just curious about the overall acreage, roughly, of that easement. And it's about 3 acres. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that in a color that will be show up really vivid and contrast. There's your easement, roughly. And so now I move that up to my folder, get rid of my, just hide my overlay. And there you go. So now I kind of see, I might make a little bit, not quite as wide. So there we go. So now I get to see that easement goes through there. That's the purpose. Reason I did this one. There's all kind of reasons I might do an overlay, but again, just that was one I was working with. This is the finished one. Bringing in an image overlay into Google Earth. It's pretty cool. I've got other reasons I've done it. If you want to bring in a just kind of a sketch, somebody say that's done a hand sketch, maybe or in a rendering that's somewhat to scale. When you want to get some kind of perspective, you can put that in there. Maybe where the septic tank field is going to be in relation to the house that you're going to put in, or whatever it might be. You can layer upon layer and bring it all together and just kind of play with it a little bit. It's kind of a good canvas to work in. I like Google Earth for that. Play with, and it might be a scaled construction drawing. So whatever it might be, it's just an easy way to kind of do an overlay and play with it and mark it up. I like Google Earth. It's just pretty easy for me to use. So there you go. Have a good night.